Nice. Good evening, and welcome to the war, the information war. I'm DLAKE for PREZ, reporting for the MediaSpeaks.com. Not CNN, not MSNBC, not CBS or ABC, not Fox News, not any other media outlet that you're aware of in the mainstream media. Sort of what you call alternative media. Nah, I go with the mainstream. What's Howard Stern? Is he alternative media? I saw a link today posted on the Drudge Report. Ladies and gentlemen, it's July 24th, 2014. And I was watching this video, and I'm going to play some of it for you. It's of a meth head calling into the Howard Stern show. The audio is a little fuzzy. It's not the best in the world, but hopefully you'll be able to hear this.
Yeah, all you have to do is be tapped by the right people.
Hey, I have a question for you.
Sure.
Are you tweaking it?
Am I tweaking it?
Yeah.
What do you mean tweaking it?
Doesn't he keep saying I'm tweaking it?
He's tweaking right now.
What's tweaking?
I'm on speed, man.
What do you mean tweaking?
Speed, meth. You ever heard of crystal meth?
Yeah, but what do you mean tweaking?
Tweaking, man. That's what it's called when you've been doing it.
You've been tweaking, man? So when I said it, you've been tweaking it, you don't even know what I'm talking about.
If you're saying tweaking it.
It's just tweaking, dude.
Are you tweaking, dude?
Yeah, I'm tweaking. I'm gassed.
Just trying to get the lingo. Yeah. Are you tweaking?
I'm clucking. I'm tweaking. I'm gassed. I'm beat out.
Oh, he's gassed. At any point in your 8 years in prison, did you ever say to yourself, you know, maybe I won't be tweaking when I get out. Maybe I'll clean up.
Hey, man. That's all I know, dude.
But wait a minute, you couldn't...
Okay. The audio, like I said, not the best, so I'll keep it brief. You heard the funny parts. He's tweaking, gacking, and all this other stuff. And, of course, Howard Stern is great at, keeping it going and, trying to find out more about the guy. He's a great interviewer. He's the best in the business when it comes to radio interviews. That's why I listen to his show, even though this is probably like a really old show. But, I was still checking it out anyways. And hopefully, in future years, people will be going back and checking out DLAKE's YouTube videos when I become, just like super large and famous. Yeah, you know what I'm saying. But look at this picture here, and hopefully that's already caught your attention, right? So Meth Head, the headline: Meth Head calls Howard Stern show, posted by Narius708. And, I'm listening to the broadcast. This is what's going on. I'm, like, listening to it.
You were in jail all those 8 years, huh?
Why not?
Oh, I'm asking.
Oh, he's doing the tweak while he's in jail. Great, okay. Well, TunedCavityLasers 2 months ago said the guy in the pic is not a meth head. Look at these pictures. The guy in the pic is not a meth head. He is the infamous nuclear Boy Scout. Crazy story for those interested. Those sores are radiation burns and cellular decay. Sad face, says TunedCavityLasers. TunedCavityLasers. What an interesting freaking name. And he's like, go do your own research if you're interested, which is something that I promote all the time and what we promote all the time on the Media Speaks. Even when we have disagreements, it's like, well, go check your facts and let's fucking bring it to the round table. That's how we operate. All right? So maybe tonight we'll have a disagreement. Is this guy a meth head? Or is he Radioactive Boy Scout? Do you like, what the hell are you talking about? Well, I played some of the Howard Stern video. The video was titled, Meth Head Calls Howard Stern Show. The picture posted as the thumbnail to the video. Let me go back to that. It's not me. Here you go. Take a look. If you're watching the video on screen share, if you're just listening to me, it's this guy, looks like a mugshot, straightforward. He's got blonde, really cropped on the side hair, kind of protruding ears, and his face, he's got, you know, blue eyes, and he's not smiling in the picture, but his face is covered with sores, like red sores, like kind of looks like he's been picking at a bunch of meth acne, which is why almost soon Narius posted this picture as a meth head, because, you know, he's playing an old Howard Stern show and he needs to put up, you know, what looks like crazy meth head. But it's pointed out in the video that, in fact, it's not a meth head. It's Nuclear Boy. For those interested, go look this shit up. I was interested, so I did. Tonight, David Charles Hahn, also called the Radioactive Boy Scout or the Nuclear Boy Scout, is an American who attempted to build a homemade breeder nuclear reactor in 1994 at age 17. A scout in the Boy Scouts of America, Hahn conducted his experiments in secret in a backyard shed at his mother's house in Commerce Township, Michigan. While his reactor never fully reached critical mass, Hahn attracted the attention of local police when he was stopped on another matter, and they found material in his vehicle that troubled them, and he warned that it was radioactive. His mother's property was cleaned up by the Environmental Protection Agency, that you might know as the EPA, 10 months later as a Superfund cleanup site. Hahn attained Eagle Scout rank shortly after his lab was dismantled. While the incident was not widely publicized initially, it became better known following a 1998 Harper's article by journalist Ken Silverstein. Hahn is also the subject of Silverstein's 2004 book, The Radioactive Boy Scout. Interesting. 10 years ago. Well, 10 years ago, a lady got drunk and had sex. Well, she was under the influence of alcohol. And some kind of toy got lodged in her upper vagina chamber. And, you know, poking her bladder. 10 years later, she's complaining that she's losing weight, she's having tremors, she's not feeling good, something's wrong, something's not right. The doctors do some x-rays, and they find like a sex toy lodged in her vagina. That's a whole nother matter, but science is crazy, right? So let me talk about, and being a doctor, I guess, is crazy too, and a scientist, and a guy that wants to be a nuclear engineer, like David Hahn here. Let me show you some pictures of David Hahn, including the one that was used as a picture of a meth head. So, I mean, is this guy a meth head or a radioactive Boy Scout? Look at this picture. Not the most healthy-looking face. But is this caused by radiation? I suspect something else. We won't visit the page now, but is this him when he was young? Before all that stuff started happening? Yeah. Here he is as a young Cub Scout, young Eagle Scout there. Young Boy Scout. Boy Scout of America. I saw this one guy. Who's this? BC Ferry CEO David Hahn? Is this the same guy? Or who's this guy? TechCrunch. No, but I think this is the same guy right there. Alright, well, I'm clicking on all the stuff I was looking at earlier. I'm supposed to be reporting it to you like I actually know the full story. But I don't. So I go live and ask the question. Is this guy a meth head or what really happened? Listen to this. Hahn was a Boy Scout who was fascinated by chemistry and spent years conducting amateur chemistry experiments, which sometimes resulted in small explosions and other mishaps. That's right. This is where it starts to get crazy. So let me Yep. He was inspired in part by reading the Golden Book of Chemistry Experiments and tried to collect samples of every element in the periodic table, including the radioactive ones. He later received a merit badge in atomic energy and became fascinated with the idea of creating a breeder reactor in his home. Hahn diligently amassed this radioactive material by collecting small amounts from household products, such as americium from smoke detectors, thorium from camping lantern mantles, radium from clocks, and tritium, a neutron moderator from gun sights. Again, americium from smoke detectors, thorium from camping lantern mantles, radium from clocks, and tritium, a neutron moderator from gun sights. His reactor was a bored-out block of lead, and he used lithium from $1,000 worth of purchased batteries to purify the thorium ash using a Bunsen burner. Hahn posed as an adult scientist or high school teacher to gain the trust of many professionals in letters. Despite the presence of misspellings and obvious errors in his letters to them, Hahn ultimately hoped to create a breeder reactor using low-level isotopes to transform samples of thorium and uranium into fissionable isotopes. Although his homemade reactor never came anywhere near reaching critical mass, it ended up emitting dangerous levels of radioactivity, likely well over 1,000 times normal background radiation. Alarmed, Hahn began to dismantle his experiments. But a chance encounter with police led to the discovery of his activities, which triggered a federal radiological emergency response involving the FBI and the Nuclear Regulatory Commission. On June 26, 1995, the United States Environmental Protection Agency, having designated Hahn's mother's property a Superfund hazardous materials cleanup site, dismantled the shed and its contents and buried them as low-level radioactive waste in Utah. However, his mother, fearful that she would lose her house if the full extent of the radiation were known, collected the majority of the radioactive material and threw it away in the conventional garbage. Good job, Mom. Which officials did not know. Yeah, Mom, you better, excuse me. Hahn refused medical evaluation for radiation exposure. Then he joined the Navy, and he wanted to be super special in the nuclear-powered aircraft carrier. He was assigned. He did his community college. He ultimately dropped out. He joined the Navy, enlisted in the Navy, assigned to the nuclear-powered aircraft carrier USS Enterprise as an undesignated seaman. Hahn had hoped to pursue a nuclear specialist career. EPA scientists believe that Hahn likely exceeded the lifetime dosage for thorium exposure, particularly since he spent large amounts of time in the small enclosed shed with large amounts of radioactive material and only minimal safety precautions. But he refused the recommendation that he be examined at the Enrico Fermi Nuclear Generating Station. Now, since we're asking if this guy was a meth head, or if he was, is this the guy? Is this Dave Hahn calling into the Howard Stern show?
Stayed high the whole time anyway.
I'd be a bad undercover cop because I'd walk up to the dude and go, "Hey, you're tweaking it," and he'd go, "You're a cop."
Yeah, you're a narc.
Yeah. I'd be like, "Hey, are you gacking? Hey, are you gack? My tweaking brother?
It?
Hey, Howard.
Tweaking and gacking?"
Hey, Howard.
Yeah.
I'll tell you one thing, though. The one positive stuff, it doesn't necessarily kill me, you know what I'm saying? But the one good thing about it is, man, chicks will do anything for it, dude. It's amazing. Oh, my God. Oh, my God, dude. I've seen some of the finest chicks get turned out and just turned into,
Whores.
Full blown out whore.
Why? Because they're gacking?
Yeah, they're clucking.
They're clucking and tweaking. A lot of these whores cluck and tweak.
And then gack.
And then they gack.
And tweaking and loving.
So what are you going to do, man, when you run out of money? You going to rob someone?
I'm looking around.
If you got
Okay, the audio on that crap is terrible. But I mean, was that David Hahn calling in? Is he the meth head pictured in the thumbnail there? Now, let me see if I have any Q&A. The Q&A is enabled tonight. I didn't mention that at the beginning of the show. No, I don't have any. I didn't promote it tonight. Let's go back to me for a minute. All right. thank you, everyone, for joining me tonight on a Welcome to the War MediaSpeaks.com special broadcast with David Lake, DLAKE for PREZ, yours truly, reporting tonight on, you know, something of an old story about this kid, the Radioactive Boy Scout. There was a book written about him back in 2004 by Ken Silverstein. Now, I wanted to get to the 7-year-old 2007 arrest, David Hahn, on August 1st, 2007. So the anniversary of his arrest is coming up in just like a week or so, right? Hahn was arrested in Clinton Township, Michigan for larceny in relation to a matter involving several smoke detectors. What? Allegedly removed from the halls of his apartment building. His intention was to obtain americium, a radioactive substance, from the detectors. Huh. I have a smoke detector right up here. Check it out. Wait. Yeah, there it is. There's my smoke detector. And this guy right here is trying to steal it. Alright. Will I readjust my camera here? Right. Right. Allegedly, Mr. Hahn removed the several smoke detectors from the halls of his apartment building. His intention was to obtain americium, a radioactive substance, from the detectors. In his mugshot, oh, here we go. In his mugshot, his face is covered with sores. There you go. There's a good look at it. You guys seeing that? Seeing what's going on there? Yeah. Nice sores all over your face there, pal. Good job, buddy. In his mugshot, his face is covered with sores, which investigators claim are possibly from exposure to radioactive materials. I think other people question that it might be from methamphetamine drug use. Mom, I wasn't doing meth out in that shed. I was building a nuclear breeder. During a circuit court hearing, Hahn pleaded guilty to attempted larceny of a building. Yeah, needed the smoke detectors. The court's online docket said prosecutors recommended that he be sentenced to time served and enter an inpatient treatment facility. Under terms of the plea, the original charge of larceny of a building would be dismissed at sentencing scheduled for October 4th. He was sentenced to 90 days in jail for attempted larceny. Court records stated that his sentence would be delayed by 6 months while Hahn underwent medical treatment. Further reading, references, external links, blase, blah, blah, blah. I'd love to get this guy on the show. Because where is he now? And he was born in 76. So I don't know. What is he? Almost getting close to 40, right? He's almost 40, I think. Someone wants to do the math on that for me. That'd be great. All right, well, it's been a great show. It looks like I pretty much had 0 viewers the whole time. Wow. I guess everyone already knows about Radioactive Boy. They don't need to hear any more about that. Well, I mean, if this happened today, I mean, this guy would be a domestic terrorist, right? He's building nuclear breeders in his mom's woodshed? I mean, he's trying to get the atomic award in the Boy Scouts, so you gotta hand it to him for that. But do you want your face to end up looking like the following? And if it did, would it be from all that thorium and americium and all that other stuff that you're trying to get a hold of, or possibly methamphetamines? Well, Naria708 thinks this picture looks like a convicted meth head, as he obviously posted it as his thumbnail to the Howard Stern show.
The good part, man. The good part is like when you're in prison, you meet, you know, you get a whole new life, you meet all new people, and they take care of you when you get out. You know, it's a revolving circle.
So now you'll be in a crew.
Well, not necessarily. I mean, but kind of, sort of.
You know what I would do if I was you? I'd become a drug counselor. Everyone I know who was hooked on drugs became a drug counselor.
I'm sure you.
Yeah. Be a drug counselor or a domestic terrorist counselor. I don't know. But ask yourself how many people right now in this day and age are trying to build nuclear fission devices in their mom's woodshed. You know what I'm saying? I mean, how many neighborhoods, how many trailer parks get blown up every year by meth heads? Ask yourself what's more dangerous, a meth head that calls into the Howard Stern show after he just gets out of prison after 8 years for robbing a 7-Eleven with 3 other guys for a total of $125, or a terrorist. Well, here's the simple answer, and this is how I'll end the show. Oh yeah, thank you. I know a lot of people are happy the show's ending. Is that the FBI will take a fucking retard like this, a drug addict or a brain deficient, addled drug addict or a mentally incapacitated, retarded type person, and incorporate them into their terrorist plot and plan by funding them, encouraging them, telling them what great ideas they fucking have, and then setting them up, of course, after the funding to get all the necessary terrorist equipment to blow shit up. What's that guy's name? Bill the Dynamite guy, who built the dynamite and then recorded his conversations with the FBI, and you know, they said it's just a drill, but now we want the drill to go live at the first World Trade Center bombings. I'm forgetting the gentleman's name, but you know, I don't know. Go look it up. I mean, I could go look it up right now, but I'm not going to. You got to do that yourself. Just like when this guy, what was that guy's name? Just like when TunedCavityLasers says, the guy in the pic is not a meth head. He's the infamous nuclear Boy Scout. Crazy story for those interested. Those stories are radiation burns and cellular decay. I found the story interesting enough that I went and looked it up. And I just broadcast my findings to you. And I don't know what else to tell you. You probably hate this music, but I hope you enjoyed the report. Everybody have a great night. I'm DLAKE for PREZ, reporting for themediaspeaks.com. Be sure to check out themediaspeaks.com on YouTube. Check out themediaspeaks.com and mediaspeaks.com, and look us up on Google and Instagram, and listen to us on all kinds of amazing podcasts. We're on iTunes. We're on Stitcher. We're all these amazing places. I mean, we can't be stopped. So please check us out all over the internet, Facebook, Twitter, and all those usual places with all the cool blue icons. And what was it reported today? Mark Zuckerberg's going to be the richest guy in the world for his Facebook creation. It was pretty good. I'm sure it was all him. I'm sure he did it all by himself, right? All right, don't make me start going off. It's getting hot in here. I feel like I'm sweating. Can you guys see any sweat on my brow? Wow, I think you can. Gloves don't help either. They're going to be funkier than a meth addict that calls into Howard Stern's radio show. That was a weak attempt at humor. Everybody have a great fucking night. I already said that!